Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I'm going to be bringing you the Ekko guide. During Alpha Lab 1 and 2, Ekko was one of my most played characters. I played Ekko Alawi primarily back in the Alpha Lab 1 and 2. Since close beta, I've been playing mostly Vi and Blitzcrank, but I still play a good amount of Ekko. He is a bit of a more technical character, so I feel like having a more fundamental understanding of the character is a bit more important to teach the character, as he's not as conventional as pretty much every other character in the game. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Ekko has unique but decent neutral, heavily accented and affected by speed and screen space. When backed into the corner on defense, his stubbier buttons can be a major hindrance, especially considering his lower health pool and complete lack of fully invulnerable reversal. But when he has free range to dash around, his ability to quickly close gaps and maneuver the screen makes his buttons a lot stronger. Some basic pressure sequences started off of his neutral would be medium heavy S2 and seeing what your opponent does, as this will create a clone and leave you safe on block, and the clone can be used for following up your first S2 hit with an assist call plus the second hit to make an advantageous situation for either Ekko to continue pressure or to call an attack to switch. If your opponent is mashing, the initial S2 sequence will often catch them. If they are more committed to blocking, try to sneak in a charged S2, as it's plus on block, combos on hit, and crosses up your opponents, also while leaving a charged clone. This value of this special is insane and has nearly limitless potential with experimentation. Another large part of Ekko's neutral is his S1 Time Winder, which can be hit by Ekko to adjust speed and trajectory, while the standing version is a fast projectile that takes a long time to establish to enable a sweet spot hit, giving Ekko his free state to combo off of and can be tricky to use effectively. The crouching version covers his upper body and enters its slowdown state while remaining on top of Ekko, making it very good in many preemptive situations, and also giving out lots of uses and setups when you don't have room to throw out a standing S1 for Oki. Okay, so going over the combo section, I want to start out by saying Ekko generally has lower damage than a lot of characters, and a big reason for this is because he doesn't have access to a traditional super to confirm into that only costs 1 meter. That's just an all-around good hitting, damaging super. He does have his Time Winder, which does work in many positions, but it does significantly less damage than a lot of level 1s in the game, and needs to use the mechanic where he uses 2H to hit it back to get a lot of actual damage off of the combos using this super. So that's just letting you know that a lot of the damage on this character is locked behind a higher execution window, but I'm going to go ahead and show some of the simple combos and then some more slightly advanced combos you can work on. The first route I'm showing here is this simple route taking no meter and building quite a bit while doing decent damage. This route has a bit of variation, sacrificing some upfront damage for a much better knockdown situation, and gives the ability to catch back rise, catch forward tech, and mix neutral recovery. This is a route that only works in the corner or after a close S2 follow-up hit. This is just a simple anti-air with no manual timings. And this is a slightly more advanced anti-air route that can be confirmed in a level 3 or another charged S2 for setup. More advanced sweaty anti-air for high damage and limit strike for meter build. This is a basic super conversion for mid-screen. Keep in mind the 2H needs to be timed correctly to get the wall hit for bounce. The routes here are limitless, but this just shows that stand medium combos naturally after a charged S2 hit, and the clone can be used before launching for extra grounded hits. On tight defense, meaning when pushed in the corner or when threatened by very close, high tense situations where you're very likely to get hit, Ekko has very few options outside of normal universal mechanics, such as retreating guard, parry, and assist push block. His crouch light is pretty stubby and not very good for catching shimmy attempts. It is fast though, so if your opponent is lacking on offense, it's not a terrible option for mashing, as it hits low and does combo into medium and heavy for a combo on hit. Do make sure you are very careful with mash timings though. Ekko has a smaller than average health pool, making situations where you get counter hit with no break very threatening. Generally, to escape high tense situations, you want to use universal mechanics in defense to maneuver back into a more advantageous position. He does have access to a reversal level 3 that can be a really good option when used correctly. As well as remembering to get up attack can be quite strong to represent occasionally to help make him a bit harder to pressure continuously. The upsides of his level 3 are that it covers multiple angles, making it suitable as an anti-air reversal, easy combo confirm with punish super, and is a parry that if hit will cause him to roll back and activate the super. The downsides of this move are that it is a parry reversal, meaning it is not fully invulnerable. If you do it as a reversal in a strike through situation, it will only beat strike in that situation, making characters that can easily combo off of their grabs or punish with a command grab, like Braum or Blitzcrank, very scary to use this option against. It can also be thrown after cinematic flash to avoid chip damage completely. Alright, so now let's finally get started in the counterplay segment. This will be a little bit different for Ekko, as his pressure is unlike almost any other character. There are some general weaknesses in his kit to exploit, so I'm going to try to focus on that, and also towards the end touch on some moves that can be easily punished on block. So as mentioned in the overview, Ekko is a nimble, tricky character that can easily maneuver the screen to build pressure without really having to get in too much on his own. Because of this, using a point character with large, forward-hitting normals, specials, and good anti-air options like Darius, Alawi, or Yasuo to combat his ability to run and jump around, while also being able to lock him down in neutral once you catch him. If the Ekko is a threat, remember that he has a very low health pool, so if you catch him in a combo, make him pay. Dump resources as much as you can, as he can be taken out very quickly. Okay, so the first specific move I'm going to go over is Time Winder. This is a set play projectile that can either be thrown straight or tossed upwards to cover his upper body. Remember that this move is very scary to interact with if it has been given time to set up, meaning it's slowed down and will cause a stasis effect on hit. Its biggest caveat is that while being an important part of Ekko's kit, it is still a projectile, meaning any anti-fireball options work against it, and most importantly, only one can be active at a time, meaning jumping over a standing Time Winder, even if slightly delayed, is a good option against Ekko players looking to run away and throw standing S1. Crouching S1 is a bit more tricky to deal with, but it is a reactable move to throw in neutral, meaning anti-fireball options have a good window to win out versus it and punish him. The next move I'm going to briefly cover is the S2 attack, the clone attack. Anytime Ekko uses an S2 attack, whether on the ground or in the air, he will create an after image where it was used on the screen. Pressing neutral S2 will prompt Ekko to do the generic follow-up attack for both the ground or air version of the after image. One thing to note about the first grounded S2 attack is that if it is charged, it will cause him to cross over your character very quickly and leave him at an advantage long enough to continue his pressure on the other side. This is a bit of a gimmick / reaction check when done without the help of an assist. If an Ekko is frequently charging S2 during block strings, try hitting him out of it and punishing him. The grounded follow-up S2 attack is punishable on block if not cancelled into super, and the standard follow-up air S2 attack is punishable on block as well, but as it's airborne it does need to be block standing. The last move I'm going to cover is Ekko's automatic cross-up special, forward S1. This move is a bit of a gimmick. The whole idea is that he will hit you twice in the front before teleporting behind you for a third strike. When done without assist call to pad the recovery or give a tag option for mix, it is fully punishable on block. Just remember to switch your block on the last hit, as he cannot stop the sequence once started unless cancelled into super early. If being done frequently with assist calls to add on the mix, this can become very strong and obnoxious. But remember that parry doesn't care about sides, and the third hit of Ekko's cross-up option has a natural gap that enables the mix in the first place. Due to absolute guard being a feature in 2x KO, if an assist is called between the second and third hit, the mix will be negated and left-right will be thrown out. So your other options are to look to parry or reversal the third hit instead of blocking when you're able. Representing this option consistently will deny this move's potential greatly, as if the Ekko wishes to avoid being parried or reversaled, he'll need to have the assist call come between the second and third hit, deleting the gap and activating the absolute guard, making his mix much more reactable. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's guide. I do hope you guys found something useful and you guys got some help out of this. If you did, make sure you drop a like and subscribe. If you know anybody that might get some help out of this, feel free to share it with them and hope that it helps them. But But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day and night, and you enjoyed the video. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.